Aaron gets interesting there in the end with some quality contact in the ninth, but overall a tough night against Gallen with his off speed, his breaking pitches. Why were they so effective?
I mean, that's about as well pitched as a game you'll see. That'll be one we look back on. I mean, that's what it kind of felt like. He just felt dialed into me, like both breaking balls going, the changeup was working. He was moving the fastball around. You know, it's got that ride, that cut on it. You know, he had one heck of a night where he was really dealing, made it tough on us, and we just weren't able to mount too much. We had one scoring opportunity there, you know, third or fourth inning, and couldn't cash in. But, you know, they kept grinding. You know, I thought between Carlos and Yogo just kind of at least giving us a fighting chance there, and then we were able to put together a rally. But, you know, tough one tonight.
What were you seeing early on from Carlos?
Yeah, just struggling with the strike zone. So, you know, whether it's, you know, not getting in that good rhythm on a colder night, whatever. I think once he settled in there, I feel like he started to find it in the third or fourth. He really cruised and locked it in and ends up giving us a big 6 innings. But I think just early on, just struggling with his control a little bit. And, you know, some leadoff batters there in those first 2 innings getting on obviously come back to hurt him.
Seemed like he wasn't working with his highest velocity four-seamer. Is that a product of it being really early in the season, April, or what do you think?
No, I thought as he went on the fastball was good. That, you know, the profile of it was good. Yeah, just, you know, probably just maybe a little weather related, a little cooler and stuff, but. And then just, you know, kind of searching to find the strike zone a little bit there in those first couple innings, getting in rhythm. But I thought stuff-wise, you know, once he settled in, was pretty good.
Gary.
Was anything bothering Carlos besides the weather? It looked like there were a couple times he looked at his hand, at the mound.
No, else? I think just, you know, night like tonight, you're, you know, sometimes just getting a good grip and everything can be a challenge. So I think coming out of a couple of those throws where, you know, when you fall behind, you know, just spinning out of it a little bit. But no.
Right behind you, Gary. Dave.
Aaron, he took a 115 off his forearm there, and then came out with sleeves the following inning. Was he okay after that? How did what?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm pretty fortunate, honestly, to one, not being his throwing arm, and two, kind of getting him on the fat, muscly side of things and not on the bone. You know, it could have been worse. So, you know, he's got a bruise there and swelled up a little bit on it, so they got some compression on there and then threw the sleeves on him. But, yeah, I just saw him right now after, too, and, you know, it felt all right.
Laura.
Just 30 strikeouts in 2 games. Understanding that Gallen really had it today, but are you seeing anything in the quality of the at-bats?
I don't know, just, you know, a little, you know, challenging a little bit when you're, you know, in the elements a little bit, and then you know, you're up against some good pitching. We've seen some good pitching the last 2 nights, and I really do feel like Gallen tonight especially, you know, it's one of those we'll look back on this year like where he was dialed. But, you know, that said, we got to, you know, try and mount something a little more than that, and you know, we battled and gave ourselves an opportunity there, getting the tying run to the plate in the end. So I like to compete all the way to the end, but he was just, you know, he had it going tonight.
Clap.
And what about all the home runs Volpe's hitting?
Yeah.
Do you see him evolving at some point in his career into a bona fide home run threat?
I mean, I think he's going to be a good hitter. So, and I think we started to see that. You know, I really felt like, you know, the playoffs was a little bit of a coming out party for him offensively. He carried that work into the offseason where I felt like he had a really good offseason as far as just honing his craft, honing his swing. You know, so he's capable of that. Whether it shows up in a ton of power, I don't know. I just want him to be a good hitter, and I think he's moving towards that.
Dan.
Just to follow up on that, I think all 4 hits this year are home runs. Is that just a matter of when he gets it, or something else?
No, I mean, I can think of 3 balls on the top of my head that he's hit on the screws for outs. Hit a ball with runners on base to the shortstop like a one hopper, lined out to center and right. So that's just early in the season, and you know, if you're going to square them up, you may as well drive them out.
And with Dominguez, obviously, there was a lot of attention on him coming into the season. How important is it for him to kind of shake off these last couple of games? The strikeouts are kind of piling up there a little bit.
Well, yesterday had a pretty good game. I mean, homer and a hit. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's in a good spot. Tonight he struggled, expanded, especially down below the zone. But I feel like even, before tonight, the 4 games, I feel like the at-bat quality's been really good with him. So tonight was a struggle.
Gave some free passes, just gave him some easy runs, and just needed to be, a little more crisp with the lines.
Camera caught you looking back at the radar gun perhaps often tonight. Were you okay with where your fastball was at?
It's fairly normal. I tend to look pretty often, but definitely down below today. A little cold. Just slow to get moving, but I'm not super worried about it. Just part of one of those things where didn't have the super explosive fastball, and just had to figure out how to pitch with it.
You got hit pretty hard on that comeback, or is that anything you're going to have to monitor?
It's just, luckily right off the forearm, X-rays negative. He hit that ball really hard, but it was an out, so thankful for that.
How scary was that?
I really didn't even see it, so just hit me and try to get the ball.
What do you take from the last 4 innings that you were able to have out there?
Settled in, it was nice, but like I said, we were down 4-0 already, so wish that was a lot sooner than, wish that was over the whole course of the game instead of the last 4. So,
Carlos, the guys you guys are missing right now with Cole being out too, and your guy has been here for a little while now. Do you kind of see yourself as the guy in the rotation, or somebody with, based on your experience here in the Bronx so far?
I kind of take it as, it's every day someone else is pitching and they're the guy that day. Today it was my name, my turn, and today I was the guy pitching. I don't think it's one of those things where you have to bear that weight. I think it's a team game, so it takes all of us.
I was saying about what Zac Gallen was doing in the dugout tonight.
No, I mean, he was executing. He was giving everyone different looks. So we were communicating, telling each other what we saw, but he was attacking and then kind of blending his pitches really well. So, I mean, I think we want to see him again, and we feel like if we do, we could have a little bit better plan, better approach, and just be more aggressive. But he was executing, and when you got a pitcher like that doing that, then it's going to be tough.
When he's executing like that with change-ups and knuckle curves, what is the most difficult part in terms of timing those?
I mean, for me, it was just kind of getting in between. The difference between, for me, the knuckle curve, the one to hit, or the cutter, or the slider, they look pretty much the same. So that's what made it tough, at least for me.
Anthony, what do you make of your start? 4 hits, 4 home runs this season.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to put the ball and play hard, and they're just going over the fence, and trying for them, which is nice, and just trying to help the team out.
Anthony, what do you think of the way this bat story is kind of blown up the way it has in the last few days?
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of no control over it, but I think it's just one of the things that we're going to do in this organization, this team, is to try to be as best as we possibly can be, and if we find any way we can get into improve, or if it's 1% or 0.01%, we're going to try to do it. And we have a really good culture and really good communication to help people buy in and explain and help us out on the field. So it's cool that it's translated.